Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in? Not because you're trying to be different, but because your mind naturally works differently from everyone around you. Maybe crowds drain you. Maybe you ask questions no one else seems interested in. Maybe people call you lazy when you're actually thinking. What if those things aren't flaws? What if they're signs your brain is wired differently? Today, we're exploring 6 rare psychological traits that make you far from ordinary. And by the end of this video, you may finally understand why you've always felt a little out of place. 1. You prefer solitude over crowds. Most people assume being alone means being lonely. But for some minds, solitude isn't isolation. It's fuel. While others recharge through constant conversation, you recharge through silence. Your best ideas don't arrive in noisy rooms. They appear during quiet walks, late-night thinking, or moments when nobody is asking anything from you. It's not that you dislike people. You simply hear yourself more clearly when the world becomes quiet. 2. You think far deeper than most people. Most people stop searching once they find an answer. You start asking questions. Why? How? What happens next? Your mind naturally looks beneath the surface. You don't just consume information. You connect it, analyze it, challenge it. Sometimes this makes simple decisions exhausting, but it also allows you to see patterns and possibilities that others completely overlook. 3. People mistake you for being lazy. You've probably heard it before. You have so much potential. So why aren't you doing more? But what people call laziness is often something else entirely. Selectiveness. You don't want to climb every ladder. You want to climb the right one. Before investing your energy, you instinctively ask whether something is actually worth your time. To people who act quickly, that looks like hesitation. To you, it's strategy. 4. You read people surprisingly well. Some people only hear words. You notice everything else. The hesitation before someone answers. The forced smile. The sudden change in tone. Without realizing it, your brain is constantly collecting emotional data. That's why you often know who you can trust long before everyone else does. It isn't magic. It's observation. 5. Your interests rarely follow trends. When everyone rushes in one direction, you become curious about another. You're not driven by popularity. You're driven by genuine fascination. You'd rather spend hours learning something meaningful than chasing whatever everyone else is talking about. That independence often makes you feel misunderstood. But it's also where originality is born. 6. You have strong emotional control. People often mistake emotional control for having no emotions. They're completely different. You still feel disappointment, anger, fear, but instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You observe. You respond instead of exploding. That doesn't mean life hurts less. It means you've learned that your emotions should inform your decisions, not control them. In a world that rewards impulsive reactions, that kind of self-control is surprisingly rare. If you recognized yourself in several of these traits, don't rush to label yourself as gifted, different, or special. Psychology is complex, and many people share some of these characteristics to different degrees. Instead, see them as invitations to understand yourself better. The people who change the world aren't always the loudest. They're often the ones who spend more time thinking than speaking. The ones who choose depth over attention, meaning over popularity, and authenticity over fitting in. So maybe you've never been normal. Maybe you've simply been becoming the person you were meant to be. And sometimes, that's the rarest trait of all.